Hey everybody, it's Kari with Contagious Living, and this is our Friday night. It is nighttime.
Yes.
Contagious Living conversation, and I'm really excited, you guys. This is Christopher Darryl.
Hey everybody.
And I want to share with you that right now, he knows nothing about anything on my little scratch piece of paper. This is how I'm going to open up this conversation.
Okay.
If I could give an Entrepreneur of the Year award from everything that I've seen, everything I've researched, because I've researched a lot, everything that I know from having you in my little corner of the world, I would give you the Entrepreneur Year award.
For real?
I really would.
I appreciate that.
I've never told him that before. You have your fingers in so many different pots.
Yeah.
And you're constantly joking about ADHD, and he didn't know that I speak about ADHD, and to me, ADHD is a superhero factor that we are just slowly catching on to in the world.
It has to be in my business. It's a must to be ADHD.
And I want you to tell us a little bit about your business is. You can pick the first three off the top of your mind and tell us a little bit about, let's start with Jujube.
Yeah, so Jujube Business Builders was basically just created from a notepad, like from, like I sleep with a notepad beside my bed because I just come up with ideas. I got to write them down.
Is it 3 a.m?
Pretty much. Yeah, 3 a.m. And I write it down and then I, look at it in the morning and then I grow it from there, right?
So you really are disciplined? You actually write it down when you have the thought.
Most of the time, not all the time. I'm not that disciplined. I'm not that
You guys have been trying to tell you forever, this is how you do it.
You know what? And everything to me, there's no such thing as a script to me.
Right.
Like nothing is that way. And
me neither.
When I started Jujube Business Builders, which is an umbrella for many different things. Umbrella. See, right there. Umbrella.
See, he can't stop marking for everybody else, but we're going there in a minute.
So many people told me that it's not going to work. The name's juvenile and, it's just not there. And everything in my toes, my knees, my fingers, and everything in my heart and my soul told me, do it. Mm-hmm. Right? Like you got to do it. So I went against.
It's a great name.
Excuse me. And people ask me all the time, and do you want me to, I'll tell you why I named it that, is I wanted, not that I say I'm going to be there, but I wanted to follow the Googles and the Kijijis and that kind of stuff. And, when Google first came out, everybody gave it the stink eye.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
And they, what's a Google? And then Kijiji, what's a Kijiji?
Yahoo.
And they actually mean something. So Google is the largest number in the entire world, from my understanding, from what I've been taught and what I've looked at. And Kijiji in the African language means a gathering of people in the community. Well, what is Kijiji? It's a gathering of people in the community.
It's so amazing sitting with you. I always learn something new. I have to interrupt you. He's a safe guy to interrupt. We'll get right back to it.
Yeah.
I always learn some new little tidbit from you. Kijiji is a gathering
of people in a community, and that's what Kijiji was built. People are a gathering of people in a community of people gathering, buying and selling. Right? And Google, the biggest, the largest number in the entire world. Well, what is Google? Right? The largest thing in the entire world. So with Jujube, everybody knows it as the candy. Right? Like everybody eats the red ones and then it goes yellow, green, orange, and then the wax.
Color.
Right? And so, it's funny because so many people, when they see my card, they're like, yeah, I know you. I've heard of you. And I'm like, no, you haven't. You had the candy. And that's not the reason I did that. The name Jujube just stuck with me, and I knew there was more meaning to it than just the candy and being recognizable. Is that the Jujube is an actual tree that is one of the most cultivated trees in the world. It's the most resilient tree in the world, grows in 6 inches of dirt in any climate. And it's a fruit that they grow, the Jujube fruit, and it's so diverse. They use it for cancer treatment, hair loss treatment, skin treatments. They use it for
so there's a lot of
desserts and everything. So the way I looked at it is, with a little bit of groundwork, we can help your business grow and let the fruit hang low. Here's the Jujube tree, right? And it's a catchy name, and I love that every ethnicity can say it, every age group can say it, and
well, doesn't it kind of represent you too? Because you, and I say this with total love from knowing Christopher, and we're very similar personalities. I'm constantly told that I'm very like childlike or goofy sometimes, and you're so much that way. So
You have to
Jujube
be.
candy kind of represents that childlike heart inside of you, I think.
Yeah.
I think it totally suits you.
Well, and I'm not a stiff shirt kind of guy,
No.
right? Like, I mean, I'll show up in my meetings in a ripped jeans and a toque or whatever, because that's me. And that's the way I want to do it. Jesse and I were talking today, and I'd love to be able to do videos while I'm fly fishing, because that is my ultimate passion. That is my sanctuary where not just in my sleep my ideas are created, but while I'm out fishing, while that water's washing my soul.
Nature.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So then Jujube essentially is
The umbrella again, right?
And then we go from Jujube.
So the Jujube was real quickly as it got, the name came, but the concept of Jujube was created by accident. Again, I had a business partner before, but I was selling health spending accounts, which is the God's gift to businesses, for tax reasons or whatnot. But I was so passionate about selling that I quit a job of making 120 grand a year. I quit the next day because I learned about these HSAs, and I was like, I'm going to go sell them because everybody needs them. But what I didn't do is I act too fast sometimes, right? And I don't care, because I fail forward and I fail fast. So I'll just find a way.
Forward and fail fast.
So, so many people were saying, I want this HSA, but I'm not incorporated. I can't have it. And they're like, can you get me incorporated? I'm a yes guy. And I was like, yeah, I'll get you incorporated. Call me tomorrow. Okay, you got me incorporated, did the nuance search. Can you get me a domain name? Yeah, sure, call me tomorrow. You got me a domain name. Can you build me a website? And I was like, holy crap, man, there needs to be a one-stop shop for all these entrepreneurs and startups to go. So I tried to build that platform, and
it's so
there's been a lot of mistakes.
So true. Everybody does need all of that.
So that's how Jujube was brought up. So we're just a business that we've opened up so many doors for entrepreneurs to connect and to be able to get exposure. Like I said, it's the umbrella for my radio show that is called the Entrepreneur Speakers Corner, that's been aired on CJ92 a lot on Cool FM. And that's coming back around here this spring. We have the event. That's what it's actually called, the event, and it's premium speakers with premium networking. We've consistently had 100+ people attend our events every month.
It's a great place to be, to learn and grow and stretch. He surrounds himself by great-minded people.
Thank you. And that's, something that we want to be able to offer people across Canada now, right?
I love it. Okay. So I was really excited.
And then there's Jube 2.
Jube 2. That's what I want to go to with Jube 2.
That one's we're really excited about that one.
I know you do light up. He lights up when he's talking about Jube 2. And I finally am getting the difference in how to say them all, because I keep tying them all together.
And like some people, and then it's funny because you're American, right? And most Americans that I meet, it's funny because they call my business Jujube.
Jujube.
All of them. And then when I say it's Jujube, they're like, oh, well, isn't it the candies, Jujube? And I'm like, Americans say Jujube and Canadians say Jujube.
And you say
Jujube.
pasta, and we say pasta.
Right.
Mazda and Mazda, right?
Same
okay,
thing.
so Jube 2 now.
That one's being launched here right away, and that's one we're most excited about. It's the most time we've spent into this one. It's been in the works for the past 6-7 months. It's a subscription-based platform. My personal experience is I found it so imperative to save money in your business and in life, because the way I look at it is it's that infinity, right? That has to just keep going, and that cycle of life and business right? There, exactly, just like that. I didn't even notice that. So, like the more money you can save in your business and grow, the more money you're going to grow and put money back into your life. And the more you can save in your life needs, you're going to be able to put back in your business, and it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So we created Jube 2, which is all joint venture, and we offer about 40+ services that we found through all of our amazing partners that are needed to be a sustainable and profitable business, no matter what stage you're in. Okay. So any of subscribers that come on, they get discounts between 20 and 30% for all the business services they need. And this is straight across Canada, and we vet some of the best service providers around.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's huge. And then, so the life part of it, not only do they get discounts on all the business services they need, they get discounts on life services all in one place at the tip of their finger.
Yeah,
So
this is
discounts
crazy.
on dry cleaning, on amusement, on retail clothing, restaurants, amusement with their family and kids, hotels, oil changes, absolutely everything. You get it. And we've made it so affordable for our subscribers that they only pay $25 a month to have part of that. We don't lock anybody into a contract because we are going to give them so much value for it and make it so simple and efficient for them to use. So that's why I get really passionate about
I knew
that
you
side,
were going
'cause-
to. I was just going to sit back and put my pajamas on, cozy, because he
Yeah,
does.
right.
He gets excited about this. What I
I'm
want to
like
say
those
is,
chatty Cathy dolls, right? You pull it out.
what I want to say, because I know a lot of my clients are going to watch this interview, and I really want them to get knowledge. So this interview is going to be a little bit different than most of mine. I also feel like a good way to say the Jube 2 piece is like sustainability for entrepreneurs. Because as you were dropping, I know when I'm traveling, it costs me. And the speaking world is changing as for what you pay and what they cover for events and things. And I have to have my suits and my dresses dry cleaned. And there's so many different things. So the affiliation that it sounds like JubeTube offers is like, if you're going to be an entrepreneur and you're going to step into this arena, this is a great platform for you to start now. So you can keep track of all of that stuff for everything. It's just,
well, and what's nice about it too, and what I find is one of the most important aspects of Jube 2, is that we open up the community to anybody who comes in. So we've made it so that in our platform that all the subscribers, which we will have 10,000 businesses by year 1 on there, that you're going to be able to collaborate and interact with each other. The joint venture partners that are on with us are going to be able to collaborate with each other. So if you're a joint venture partner, which you are, and we have somebody in Toronto, right, Cassandra, who's out there, I want you guys to be able to be so connected that when Cassandra says, hey, listen, I don't do that part of things, but inside Jube 2, we got Kari Weber-Young who does do this, or we've got Jesse who does this, and
this is your gift. This is your gift. That's probably why I think Jube 2 is you're so passionate, because it's natural for you. We just did an event that was supposed to be at the Cardell Theater, and we are action takers
in Calgary,
and implementators. So here we are. We're just finishing off what we just was a live webinar with Karen McGregor, and you can't help yourself. He naturally saying, well, everybody stay on here and talk to each other and, get each other's information. And I'm very similar that way. Jesse knows I just want to get people connected. And so I want to ask you what it is, because you have so many irons in the fire. I get this question all the time. So I ask this for you and I ask this for me. What is it that pushes you?
Pushes me to have this much going on,
to keep going, to stay busy, to flow with, from out of the recession up to here to oil in Calgary, to keeping everybody around you is happy. You just keep going and creating all this light and energy. What is it that fuels you? You know what?
If I have to answer that, it's me, that I want to leave such a loving and positive legacy for my family if they outlive me, or my daughter especially, right? I want her to be able to have somebody to look up to, be proud that, my dad connected and locked arms with so many people. And it's a really tough subject to talk about, because that's my drive. It's not me wanting to live on the beaches. It's part of it, but do you know what I mean? And be able to run a business that is helping so many other entrepreneurs and startups. But it's the legacy that really drives me. And also it's the challenge. I love challenge. One of my favorite lines that I came across, it says, go ahead, underestimate me. That'll be fun. Right. And I love that, because I love being told you can't do that. And I have, even as a little kid, my mom said, no, I did it. It
encompasses you. And you made me lose my train of thought, because I love that. It's so completely you. Well, I was going to go back and talk about your family. It's fun to meet Christopher, and he's just like that little kid that's like, or that newlywed that's showing pictures of the family. You're showing me pictures. I feel like I know your sister and your mom and your dad, and you've just shared all of your family. And
I'm proud of them.
Family is, well, they're beautiful people too. God, hats off to your family. But I want to talk about this word scratch I wrote down. So when
so you've noticed
when I first met Christopher, he has a tattoo.
I don't know if you guys can see it there, but it says that it's upside down for you because I can't do this. But anyways, it's scratch.
It says scratch, and I immediately, I'm a people person. I'm touchy-feely. I'm like, what is scratch? So I'm going to ask you for our audience. Can you tell us a little bit about why you have the word scratch so beautifully tattooed on your arm?
Well, I was a kid having a kid, right? I was very young, which I don't regret one bit. But I after I overcame the fear of having a child and being a father and trying to figure out, I can't even take care of myself yet. How am I going to take care of another human? I'm 19, 20 years old, right? Her and I became the best of friends. We've got matching tattoos. I absolutely love fly fishing. She's my fly fishing buddy. I had her in a backpack since she was probably 6 months old, out through the mountains, coming home with scratches all over her face. And that's not where we came up with the name Scratch, or where I came up with it. But she would, and I'd get in trouble and shit all the time from her mom. Well, she's all cut up and she's a baby. And I'm like, yeah, well, she's going to toughen up from it. And she also fell into the river outside of the backpack with it today too. Right? So anyways, I became very protective over her and very, like she's my only child, right? And she's my little girl. And one time she said to me, Dad, why don't you let me do anything? Like, come on, please. And I'm like, no, I got to come with you. I got to do this, right? And she was like, but why don't you let me? And I said, listen, you're my only little girl. I love you more than you could imagine. And I made you from scratch. And that just stuck, right? Like we both, like I had my little tear and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, it gives me a swirl every time I hear that story.
But, the nickname stuck, and I always call her Scratch. And like even when she sends me the text message or an email or anything, she'll say, love Scratch or love your Scratch, just stuff like that. And it's just kind of stuck.
I just think that kind of a story, if you're a new parent and you're watching this, come up with a story like this that is part of the legacy you have with your child. Because I don't know if you realize, I'm sure you do, but as a daughter who loved her father tremendously, he called me K-Web.
K-Web.
And so I would tell everybody I was K-Web because it was all about just connecting to my dad. So I'm sure that your daughter is like, my dad made me from scratch. I mean, that is just like, it's like a book title. It's like a romantic story. It's like father-daughter. It's just, I just get so squirrely over that one. I just love that story. It's beautiful. And you've been kind of a bad boy in your past.
No.
Yeah, you have some stories. He's got stories. He's fun to cozy up to and listen to some stories. He's made the news from having a cracked head. You've had to beat some people off to protect the other people. So you're kind of like a real life superhero. So
thanks.
I want to ask
you. Am I blushing yet?
You might be. I want to ask you who your superhero is.
Oh my God.
See, I don't give them any preparation, so I gotta smile and bet my eyelashes at you to buy him some time. But yeah, I mean, I
have more than one,
and that's okay.
I've got my superhero strength, just like everybody else has got their superhero strength from different parts of life that have happened to you and different people that are in your life, and when I go to family, my dad is, oh man, I've always wanted to be him, right? I've always walked in his footsteps. We fished together. I loved how he interacted with people. I am who I am today as a business person and how I communicate with people through what I've learned from him. So to me, that's, part of the cape. When a grandmother knits a quilt and they're all different parts of life, that's part of my quilt, right? Is that part of my dad. And then my mom, she battled hardcore cancer just recently, hardcore. Same with my sister at the same time, and we lost somebody very important to us. And my mom has always been my rock and always been a best friend to me. And she's always been the strongest woman you'll ever meet. And I got that strength from her. And especially during this cancer time, to see, people would say to her, oh, Debbie, I'm so sorry, about this. And she was like, sorry about what? Like, in her brain, she's like, I didn't have it. And that's how she beat it, man. And that's how my sister beat it. They're both the same way. So I get to be proud that I have somebody like that in my corner, and that strength has now entered me, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know, and, you know, like I learned from my brother and my daughter, you know, like, and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, looking on how the kind of person I am today, my superheroes are those two people, and it's my mom and dad. And most people will say that, but, you know.
I'm seeing you have almost like the whole Marvel cast. It's his family.
Pretty
Your
much,
whole
right?
family is all superheroes.
I've been through so much shit in my entire life, and was it self-caused? Yep, probably. You know, but, you know, my mom will tell you, if she was sitting here right now, Chris would always take the rough road. Always, no matter what I would do.
You said you like a challenge.
Take that, right? Like, I would take it. I was one taking that road that was minus 30 wearing swim trunks. Even though I could go this way.
That's what makes you so good at what you do, is because to be an entrepreneur, you have to take risks.
And she would tell you, he'd always come out smelling like roses at the end. Because there's always a way.
That's my Austin.
You know, and, you know, like with me thinking, you know, like, you know, people are like, holy crap, you've done a lot of crap and what. But you know what? There's a few things I've realized in life is, one, you can't move forward looking in a rearview mirror. It's something that's been going on. You can't do it. You can't.
It's true.
Never regret anything. Never regret anything, because at one point it was exactly what you wanted. You can change it, but you did it, man. You wanted it at that time. Right? And
so you don't sit around and regret. You just move past.
I can't. I can't do it. Like, you know, like, and real quickly, I remember one of my friends was so hung up on stuff in the past, and I get some stuff in the past that are hard to overcome. Right. But I sat her in my car right in the middle of a road, and I said, drive to the end of the street, only looking in that rearview mirror, and I'm telling you, don't cheat. I'm going to keep my hand on the steering wheel. I want you to drive to the end of the street. And she said, oh, well, she said, why are you going to hang on to it? And I said, because you're going to crash. And she said, no, I'm not. I have peripheral vision. And I said, doesn't matter. So we started going. Within about 5 seconds, she was veering into the parked cars, and I pulled the steering wheel, and she hit the brakes. And she's like, what? And I said, look where you are. I said, you hit that. So I said, tell me, in life, how are you going to move forward looking in your rearview mirror? Wow. You can't do it. Fix whatever's bothering you in the past. I'll help you. I get it. You can't just wave a magic wand and it's gone your past.
Takes work.
But you can do it. And that leads me to another thing that my superhero said, my dad, is if you want anything in life, just do it. And it's that simple. Nike said it good, but my dad said it better.
Oh,
right?
I love that.
But
I love that.
But it's true. And you know, I've said it to people, and people are like, it's not that easy, Chris. You can't just do it. And I'm like, wait, the foundation of what you want to do is just doing it. Start there, do it. Now build it to get it done.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
So
I love that.
That's enough of that part.
No, I love that. I love that. So do you still feel...
Oh, look at, I just got coffee in my eye. Like, it just went straight in. That was awesome.
I've done that about 3 times today.
Oh, it's chocolate.
So I wanted to ask you if you're still... Is there still a little bit of that bad boy in you where
it'll never leave?
It'll never leave. But I feel like just since I've known you, there's this like softer, tender side coming out in you. Is that part something that you want to change in your work and what you do in the world and your work, or is that with...
I don't want to change ever who I am. Really?
I see softer sides of you just since I've met you. Just little
softer sure. I'm a very
out.
Compassionate, very affectionate, and very cuddly and loving. That's the stuff I love, right? But do I like getting in my Jeep and hitting the mud and partying the hell out of it and
exactly.
Waking up hungover in a tent sometimes? Yep, I sure do. Right? And we're, you know, like, not that I like confrontation, but I mean, I'm going to stand up for myself. And I feel
Absolutely.
If somebody needs that assistance of standing up, I'm going to pipe right in. That leads me to when I got my head beat in with that bat, right?
Yeah.
I was protecting 2 girls. And,
right.
You know, and so many people said to me, Chris, why would you walk down a dark street at 11 o'clock at night when you know there's 4 men there harassing people and go confront them? Mm-hmm. I said, but they were attacking 2 16, 17-year-old girls.
Yeah.
And they're like, you should call the police. I'm like, what? And wait 20 minutes for them to come? What could have they done to them? I'd way rather get hurt than that. And in a weird, this might have to be edited out or whatever, but to me, it was another challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And I accept that challenge, and I accept any challenge that's given to me.
I'm curious if it's the challenge in the moment or the challenge after you've thought about it. Because what I see in you is you're compassionate and your heart, I think, leaps out first.
I
and
agree.
goes, I'm going to be a Superman and fix this thing in the world. And then I wonder if, like, the thought process behind it is the challenge.
Maybe. I don't know. I've never thought that deep into it. I'm very spontaneous.
Welcome to Deep with Kari.
And that's that ADHD, right?
Yeah,
like,
something to think about, right?
Yeah, and
so
I love that.
When it's all said and done and you are 90, what's the legacy you want to leave behind? What do you want to be remembered for?
That you never gave up.
Never gave up.
He never gave up. He just kept trying and trying and trying, whether it was business, life, and trying to make things work, you know. Yeah, still every single day I wake up, I'm not going to give up. You know, like I have a whole whack of things that I have that nobody knows about that's going on in my life, personal stuff and work stuff. And one thing I've learned over the years is like meeting people like you or like Jesse, who's sitting right here, you know, is
we love Jesse.
And, you know, some of my other partners, Nikki and Heather and, you know, like all these great people, I don't even know how to even word it, but
you're just surrounded by great people and you just
fantastic people. And I want to leave that legacy of the things I've learned from them to pass them on to my daughter, and my daughter to be able to take what she's learned from me and pass it along to her kids and her kids onto that one and carry on that last name that I'm so proud to have.
Well, can I tell you what I've learned from you?
Tell it to me.
I'm going to tell you. I have learned, I've been working with women, empowering women for a long time with Umbrella for Life. And I feel like I missed the boat a little bit, ladies, because we are so busy empowering each other as women that we forget that there are amazing male entrepreneurs out there that want to play with us. They want to work with us. They want to help us. And what I've learned from you is that I can have trust in men. I'm sure I've had, you know, issues working with men. There's polarity. There's, you know, hotheads. There's people read other things. There's stuff. But I think we need to, like you say, move on in your life and move forward. Find different superheroes to fly around your cape with. And that's what I feel like I see in you is I have my superhero. Jesse's got his superhero cape and you've got your cape. And I'm enjoying every bit of this relationship and flying around in my superhero cape with you.
It's awesome, right?
It really is. And so I just want to encourage you, ladies, if there's a male counterpart out there that can help you to rise and shine to your occasion, find somebody like Christopher or contact Christopher. We're keeping him very busy right now.
And you know what? I got to interrupt real quick. And I want to say the same thing right back at all you guys, right? Like the majority of my business are in Jujube are women. Mm-hmm. You know, like, and I think that goes back to the caring and compassion part, because I'm not saying men are less compassionate and caring, but women show it a lot more and it's more on the surface, and I gravitate to that.
Absolutely.
And that is a huge part of your well-being, and not just your business, but just having that. So I encourage men, like, go to that. Like I join these groups called, you know, like women entrepreneurs and stuff like that. And I join them on social media, not because I'm trying to canvas or poach, right, people or anything like that. I'm very curious onto what they're talking about, what they're saying, because I absorb it and I use it. Yeah. So, you know, and I have to say, and this could be in here or not, but, you know, I did see that. I did peek. I peeked a little bit.
He peeked at the final when it's all.
But I couldn't really see it that well because I got horrible vision and my glasses are just
welcome to
Jesse's got them. But when it said, you know, like when it says here, when it's all said and done, my first reaction when I read that, I didn't know that's where you were going. What I was going to say, it's never all said and done. Never. It's never said and done, because if I say it's said and done, that means I either gave up or I'm at the point where I can't physically help people or work or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why when I saw that,
Yep.
that was going to be my answers. It's
You're
never
you're definitely somebody, if you want to get surrounded by somebody that's an actual walking think tank, you're a think tanker. I'm a think tanker too, but you're a doer. We're doers. We're activators. That's
we're
why
just
we're
all that.
sharing this space.
But that's why
all
we
three of
connect
us.
so well too,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
You know, the laughs and the seriousness and the connections. Look at how many connections we made already today.
I
You know,
know.
look at how many people hung on to that webinar tonight.
I know.
Everybody hung on.
They really did.
You know, and during this time here, you know, like you gotta stay positive because fear is what's gonna take you down, man.
Well, I'm gonna give you a hug.
Okay.
Famous Contagious Living hug.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
This is my pleasure.
This is my pleasure too.
I know you have great businesses to run. I have the best job in the whole world doing this.
Right?
With you and you. So we're going to give a good night and a shout out to Jesse behind the camera tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Jesse. Thanks, Kari.
I don't know what order these come out on. They're on Fridays. They're Fridays Contagious Living Conversations. But Jesse and I sat down and did an interview. So that'll be coming soon too.
Well, tell them what's your YouTube page. You got to check it out. Like this is
on YouTube.
Awesome, but okay.
Yeah.
But okay, all right. Well, it's
You might
there.
have to edit that. Okay, you guys.
Kari
Thank
Young.
you so much,
Thank you.
Christopher Darryl. And we will see you guys next time on Contagious Conversations with Kari.